but I think when we work in the tens, not the kings. So.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to our Friday night service. We're going to start tonight with Yedid Nefesh. Translation, beloved of the soul, source of mercy, draw your servant into your arms. I leap like a deer to stand in awe before you. On page 128. Yedid Nefesh av harachaman, Yedid Nefesh av harachaman, Mishochav decha, El ritzonecha, Mishochav decha, la 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 la, El ritzonecha.
Shabbat Shalom again. Welcome. Larry Smotroff is our Shliach Chatzei, our service leader this evening. First, if you haven't had an opportunity to do so, please wish a Shabbat Shalom to the people in front of you, behind you, on the other side of the sanctuary, offering a greeting.
How are you?
And again, welcome. It's going to be chilly, but we have a nice warm sanctuary. This evening, our candles will be lit by Michelle Rosen. Hadlakat Hanerot, the kindling of Shabbat, will be found on page 120.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As the brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu mitzvotav l'tivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Let's all sing together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Michelle and Peggy, thank you. We turn to page 142 for for Shalom Aleichem as we continue to welcome Shabbat, page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Barchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Zechem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We now turn to page 144 for the Chatzi Kaddish as Larry leads us in the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yamad yivra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'yomechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman karib, v'yimaru. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorah, Li'olam Ulam Ve'amaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach V'yishtabach, V'yitpar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar V'yithaleh, V'yithalal, Shemei Dekudeshah Richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemaka damihiran b'yalma v'imeru. Amen.
Page 146, we invite those who are able to rise for the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Page 149, I ask that we read together in English the second reading down on the page. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of life. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of life. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Ha'ravim. Page 151, again the second reading. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it forth? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed.
Please be seated. The Ve'ahavta will be found on page 154. We join together with Larry.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol miodecha v'hayu hadarim ha'eleh asher anochi misavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam banecha v'dibartam bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderet u'shavtecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'bisharecha leman tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti echem me'eretz Mitzrayim leot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Emet, page 157. We read responsively the second reading on the page. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Mi Chamocha, page 158.
Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha Nehedar B'Kodesh, Norati Lo Oseh Pele, Norati Lo Oseh Pele. Malchutecha Ra'u V'nei
Page 160. Praised or blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. On page 162.
No, 160.
Oh, pardon me. Apre Sukkot Shalom. Thank you, Larry. Back on page 160.
Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukkot shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukkot shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael.
Page 162 now. Vishamru, the top of the page.
Vishameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'doratam berit olam beni uvein b'nei Yisrael Leolam, Leolam, Ki she'eshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashemi Shabbat vayinafash uvayom Shabbat vayinafash.
Some of our prayers began, the melodies were beer hall songs or Viennese waltzes. That was a South African lullaby, and just beautiful. On page 164, we begin the tefillah. We invite those who are able to rise. We will be chanting the prayers on the right-hand pages, the even-numbered pages to page 170.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufia yitehilatecha Adonai atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim Vekonei Hakol V'Zocher Aspe'arot Ve'imahot U'mevi Gula Livnei B'neihem Leman Shemo V'Yahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Mageh Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed Mechayei HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim Sohomech Noflim V'Rofech Oholim Umatir Asurim Umekayeh Emunato Lishenei Afar Mihamoka Bal Gevurot Umidom Mehelah Melech Memid Umekayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'neman atah lechayot ha'akol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh ha'akol.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God.
Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Please be seated. Day 476. 3 hostages returned home last week. 4 are to be released this Shabbat. We continue to pray for their redemption and for that of the 95 hostages and their remains. We recite our ancient prayer, Achenu, our family, the whole house of Israel, who are in distress or in captivity, who stand either in the sea or on dry land. May the Omnipresent have mercy on them and take them from narrowness to expanse, and from darkness to light, and from oppression to redemption, now swiftly and soon. The news last week was good. Still, I caution us to prepare for bad and somber news. The condition and fate of the hostages, as well as witnessing celebration as terrorists are freed in exchange, will be trying. Let us thus be guided by the conviction that ultimately the world is governed by a moral force that grounds us in peace and in justice. We sing Shalom Rav, page 178.
Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon,
Lekol HaShalom.
Shalom.
Ki atahu melech Adon. Lekol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam V'tov Enecha Levarech Et Amcha Yisrael V'kol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam Tasim Le'olam Tasim Le'olam.
Silent prayer will be found page 180.
Yiyu leratzon imre fi v'hegyon libi lefanecha Adonai Tzuri v'goali Adonai Tzuri v'goali May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O Lord, my rock, and my redeemer. Yiyu leratzon imre fi v'hegyon libi lefanecha Adonai Tzuri v'goali Adonai Tzuri v'goali.
That beautiful version was written by Cantor Hollis Shackner, who was here. It's the first of what will be two beautiful pieces which we'll hear tonight, written by our own B'nai Israelites. We turn to page 364 for Seder Kriyat HaTorah, for our Torah service. Rosie and Dan, we're going to ask you to come forward to open our ark. Rosie, you're going to discover how heavy the ark is in our congregation, the heaviest one that we know in existence. For those who are able, we invite you to rise. We sing Ki Mitzio. Ki Mitzio. Page 366. Shema Yisrael. Please be seated. What do you think? It is a pretty heavy ark, yeah? The Exodus, Yetziat Mitzrayim, is the major, it's the central experience of the Torah. The section we read tonight is the very key to understanding the Exodus. The story picks up with Moses utterly dispirited. God had sent him to appear before Pharaoh and improve the plight of the Israelites. But rather than initial success, Moses had met with rejection. Pharaoh simply instructs his Israelite slaves to work harder, and they in turn, angered over their increased workload, condemn and abandon Moses and Aaron. They literally say, "God damn it." Moses becomes distraught. He questions God's ability to get results, telling God, "Ever since you sent me, things have only gotten worse." In response to these doubts, as this week's portion begins, God promises to liberate the people and bring them to the land of milk and honey. Moses remains skeptical, telling God, "The Israelites would not listen to me. How then should Pharaoh heed me who gets tongue-tied?" But Moses, together with Aaron, maintained their focus on the effort. The beginning of the portion, page 420, Exodus chapter 6, begins at verse 2. We'll be going through verse 13. We invite forward for our Aliyah to the Torah for this Shabbat, on a week with a special anniversary for them. Peggy and Jerry Klein, and Peggy and Jerry are celebrating their 55th wedding anniversary. Wow. That can't be, because I think I just saw the pictures on Facebook recently. So,
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen. V'yidaber Elohim el Moshe. And God said to Moses, Vayomer Elav, saying to him, Ani Adonai, I am Adonai. Va'era el Avraham, el Yitzchak, ve'el Yaakov, ve'el Shaddai. And I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as El Shaddai. Ushmi Adonai lo nadati lahem. But by my name Adonai I did not make myself known to them. V'gam hakimoti et briti otam, and I also established a covenant with them. Latet lahem et eretz Canaan, to give them the land of Canaan, et eretz megarehem, the land of their sojourning. Asher garuva. V'gam ani shamati et na'akat b'nei Yisrael. And also I have heard the cries of the children of Israel, Asher Mitzrayim ma'avdim tam, who the Egyptians have enslaved. Ve'eskor et briti, and I have remembered my covenant. Lachen, therefore, Amor livnei Yisrael, say to the children of Israel, Ani Adonai, I am Adonai, hotzeti etchem mitachat sivlot Mitzrayim, who will bring you out from under the burdens of Egypt. V'hitzlalti etchem, and I will rescue you, me'avadatam, from their slavery. V'ga'alti etchem bizroa netua, and I shall liberate you with an outstretched arm, uveshvatim gedolim, and awesome wonders. V'lakachti etchem li la'am, and I will take you to be my people. V'ha'ita lachem lelohim, and I will be your God. V'yadatem ki ani Adonai, and you will know that I am Adonai, Elohechem, your God, homotzi etchem mitachat sivlot Mitzrayim, who brought you out, brings you out from the burdens, from underneath the burdens of the Egyptians. Ve'eveti etchem, and I will bring you el ha'aretz asher nasati et yadi, that to the land that I had pledged, literally that I raised up my hand, latet ota, to give it la'avraham, layitzak, Yaakov, to give it to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. V'natati ota lachem morasha, and I will give it to you as an everlasting possession. Ani Adonai, I am Adonai. Vayidaber Moshe kain el bnei Israel, and Moses spoke thus to the children of Israel. V'lo shamu el Moshe, but they did not listen to Moses, mikotzer ruach v'me'avada kasha, because of their distressed spirits and hard work and cruel, hard, difficult labor. V'yidaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, and God spoke to Moses, saying, Bo daber el paro, come and go and speak to Pharaoh, Melech Mitzrayim, the king of Egypt, Vishlach et bnei Yisrael me'artzo, that he shall send forth the people of Israel from his land. V'yidaber Moshe lifnei Adonai lemor. And Moses spoke before God, saying, Hen bnei Yisrael lo shamu elav. Now, if the children of Israel don't listen to me, how Yishme'eni Paro, will Pharaoh listen to me? Va'ani aral sifatem, me of such difficult speech. V'yidaber Adonai el Moshe, and God spoke to Moses, ve'el Aharon, and to Aaron, v'yitzavem el bnei Israel, commanding the children of Israel, ve'el Paro melech Mitzrayim, and to the Pharaoh of Egypt, lahotzi et bnei Yisrael me eretz Mitzrayim, to bring out the children of Israel, the people of Israel, from the land of Egypt.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Thank you. Happy
Thank you,
anniversary.
thank you.
It hasn't been 55 years since we did the renewal here, though. So, correct. Good. We invite forward Stephen Reps, who will be raising our Torah, and Debbie Garber, who will be dressing our Torah. We invite those who are able to rise as the Torah itself will be raised. V'zot HaTorah is found on the bottom of page 307.
V'zot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei
seated. Strength is back.
It gets easier as the days get longer. It's more even.
As we offer the blessing for healing this Shabbat, we turn to, as we are offering the blessing for healing this Shabbat, we are mindful of Will Qualls, Ivel Kovner, Eileen Fallis, Margie Lipschitz Shapiro, Dr. David Levy, Barbara Cassidy, Alan Stein, Sarah Lai Pennington, Tzvia Mina Bat Ida Michlav, Tzvi Hirsch, Mary Lou Constance, Jason Peck, and Karen Armstrong. There also are those for whom we pray privately. For those in our sanctuary, please share aloud the names of people for whom we likewise publicly pray this Shabbat.
Kathleen Callahan and Hunter Wiseman.
And for those on Zoom, we ask you to unmute and say out loud the names of those for whom we also pray publicly this Shabbat.
Norma Fleischer,
For all, may the Holy One send healing and shelter in protection.
El Narifana, El Narifana, El Narifana, El
That's Numbers chapter 12, translation, please God, please heal her, and by extension, as we use it liturgically, please God, please heal them. There are a number of folks here tonight. I won't out you, but you are in our Torah study class. The text which I think we'll be looking at tomorrow morning is El Na Rafa Na La. That text, which we're going to be studying tomorrow morning, God willing, was part of the text that Linda presented when she became an adult bat mitzvah and composed this melody for the first prayer for healing and the prayer for healing which we have in the Torah. For me, there seemed to be no getting away from Elon Musk's gesture at a Trump inauguration event and the tumult it has engendered. I got a number of texts and questions about this latest skirmish in our political and cultural wars. Two close family members insisted it was clearly a Nazi salute. So did Senator Chris Murphy, Representative Jerome Nadler, and the JCPA, the Jewish Center for Public Affairs. The Guardian newspaper suggested it was likely a fascist salute known as a Roman salute. UN Ambassador nominee Elise Stefanik, the Wall Street Journal editorial board, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu all said it wasn't a Nazi salute. The American Jewish Committee, the U.S. Historical Memorial Museum, and Yad Vashem didn't comment. The ADL decided to weigh in, and as Joel Abramson and I are board members, I closely followed the action. Staff examined the footage and that of other speeches by Musk. They decided he gesticulates, and this looked more like an awkward gesture than a definite Nazi salute. The ADL then tweeted that we should give the guy some slack. Quote, "In this moment, all sides should give one another a bit of grace, perhaps even the benefit of the doubt, and take a breath." Within and beyond ADL, that tweet created a firestorm. Was the league exonerating him? The call for benevolence seemed particularly lame when Musk responded to the concerns raised completely ungraciously, as he offered a series of offensive Nazi jokes, adding insult to potential injury. Yesterday, a half-hour ADL National Board call to discuss the tweet lasted a contentious 90 minutes. No one was praising the messaging. The Simon Wiesenthal Center did offer a more thoughtful response. The Wiesenthal Center stated, quote, "Elon Musk has become a prominent figure on the global stage, but his actions today at President Trump's inauguration have raised serious concerns. His unexpected double salute, which resembled gestures associated with troubling historical connotations, is challenging to understand, especially as he has recently engaged with Germany's domestic politics by seemingly supporting the AfD party, known for its far-right elements. The Nazi salute, officially known as the Hitler salute, originated in Nazi Germany as a gesture of loyalty and obedience to Adolf Hitler and the ideals of the National Socialist Party. The Nazi salute was inspired by the ancient Roman salute, a gesture thought to symbolize strength and unity in classical antiquity. Now serving as a key member of the Trump administration, Mr. Musk has significant responsibilities and a new international platform. It would be appropriate for him to clarify or apologize for today's gesture and focus his energy on tackling the critical challenges ahead." End quote from the Wiesenthal Center. To be sure, he didn't. Musk doubled down with the Nazi jokes, sparking a new provocation while contemptuously mocking both his supporters and his critics. And all of this received far more attention than the latest arson attack on a synagogue in Australia. International Holocaust Remembrance Day is this coming Monday. Ominously, remembrance appears increasingly partisan. It was a relief to leave current events aside and review this week's Torah portion about God's pledge to a doubtful Moses to liberate the people and bring them to the land that God swore to Judaism's founders, to the patriarchs. Only that proved no escape from the day's headlines. The phrase Bizroa Netuyah translates with an outstretched arm. So too the phrase in Hebrew for the word swore is Nasati et yadi. Literally, I raised my hand. I sighed, again with the arm movements. But rest assured that nothing in Scripture mimics fascist salutations. Just the opposite. God's message is to challenge tyranny, not to capitulate to it. God's instruction is to find strength in the source of holiness, not to glory in human arrogance. Torah speaks metaphorically. Incorporeal, God has neither a body nor a hand. Writing about 700 years ago, Rabbeinu Bachya explained, the Torah employs an anthropomorphism here. The whole verse is to be understood as an allegory. When a person swears an oath, one usually raises one's hand towards heaven to reflect one's sincerity and earnestness. The Torah used this form of expression to describe that God related with similar determination to what God had in mind for the descendants of Abraham, etc. Another important medieval commentator, his predecessor, Ibn Ezra, portrayed God's outstretched arm reaching from heaven to earth. The Roman salute starts at the heart and extends towards the sun. Emanating from the self, the focus is personal attainment. By contrast, God's Zera Nituya is all-encompassing, radiating the hope of freedom and justice for all. No matter how doubtful or weary we may feel, returning to Torah, may we find uplift in the promise of blessing for those who sincerely champion truth, respect, and kindness. For this endeavor grounds this world and extends to the next. So inspired and determined to give no quarter to the normalization of bigotry or trivialization of genocide, attuned to our biases and to our different understandings. As descendants and heirs to the covenant of Abraham and Sarah, may we approach the challenges of these times with both wisdom and resolve. Heaven knows there's no getting away from them. Kain Yehi Ratzon, be this God's will. Our service now continues on page 586 with the Aleinu. And Adria, we invite you forward to open our ark, page 586. We invite those who are able to rise. The paragraph that we chant is the second paragraph down on the page. All set? Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gedulah liyoser breshit, shelo asanu kudoye haratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor Please be seated. Page 591, the Ne'emar.
The Ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, the Melech al kol haaretz, Vayom hahu,
page 598. At this moment in our service, we now call to mind our own beloved dead. We pray on their behalf. We voice the confidence that they are remembered for blessing. I ask those in mourning, remembering the anniversary of the death of a loved one, to please rise if you're able when their name is mentioned, whether you're in the sanctuary or joining us on Zoom. During Shiva, we remember Nina Elazar, friend of Ruth Holt. During Shloshim, we remember Donald Liebeskin, Sandra Stagno, cousin of Sandy Gold. We remember the Yartsites. Remember the anniversaries of the deaths of Ada Abramson, Celia Baum, Yetta Lowe Blank, Bert Boyson, Devora Rose Brodsky, Harold Epstein, Paul Frankel, Samuel R. Greenblatt, Florence Silverman Horn, Irving Kantrowitz, Jean S. Kaiser, Richard Krasow, Mary Pollock, Harry Simon, and Teresa Trorick. Should you have a dear one to add, please rise and say their name. We ask our online worshipers on Zoom to unmute and say the name of their loved one.
Ada Abramson.
For those in our sanctuary, should you wish, we invite you to offer a short remembrance of a dear one on our Kaddish list. Please raise your hand for the microphone.
It's been 5 years to Bert's death. I quote Albert Einstein that once said, "Never cease to stand like children before the great mystery into which we were born." And so, like a child, Bert's curiosity never ceased. Neither his search for the wonders of the universe ever slowed, nor his amazement at each discovery. He pondered the mystery of nature and the complexity bestowed on humankind, the vastness of the galaxies and the engineering of the planet and all living things. His brilliance was matched only by his humble spirit. His kindness was boundless. Free of prejudice, he fully accepted human frailty, embracing all that was good. Bert was an eternal optimist. His smile shone goodness of heart, like the stellar constellation in the night skies. I remember him.
Ruthie, thank you. Should those on Zoom wish to offer a reflection of a dear one, please feel free to do so now.
Yes, Ada Abramson was my mother. One of 8 children, she was the first to be born in America. Money was tight. She had to quit high school after 2 years to go to work, but was self-educated and very well-read. She was a skilled stenographer, became personal secretary to an officer of a large corporation. My father worked for the same company. They had an office romance. When they got engaged to be married, my grandfather made my mother quit. He said it was not good for engaged people to work in the same company. My mom was a socialist. Dad was a very conservative Republican. Growing up, the dinner table conversations were over my head, but it was clear to me that Mom had no trouble gently holding her own. When women got the right to vote, she never missed an election. Family legend has it that on their first date, Mom dragged Dad to a suffragette parade. For him to go, it must have been true love. My wife Doris and Mom were very close. If there was ever a disagreement, Mom would take Doris's side, not mine. She lived to almost 103. Thank you.
Joel, thank you. We also don't forget each Shabbat the Ukrainian victims of Russia's invasion. Each week we mention 6 names of the 6 million murdered during the Shoah, for whom there is only us to say Kaddish. This Shabbat we remember Elka Pevsner, Israel Taubes, Mechla Odenberg, Archer Newman, Alma Veckelsman, and Celia Flocksman. In remembrance, in solidarity, and on behalf of those for whom there is no one but us to say Kaddish, we now invite all to rise if you are able. Our prayer, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra chirute v'amlich malchute, b'chayechon v'yomechon, v'v'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah muvarach le'olam alalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata damiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam levracha, may their memories be for blessing, and let us say amen. Please be seated. Abby Peklo is our temple administrator.
Hi, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us tonight on this cold night. Thank you, Rabbi Eric, for leading services, and Larry for the beautiful music. Thanks to Steve, reps in the back, and CJ for helping with our technology tonight. Anybody besides the Kleins celebrating a 55th wedding anniversary? Yay, 20th, wow. Yay. Any other birthdays besides CJ? Any other birthdays? Any good news to share besides the birthdays and the anniversaries? Jerry, did you want to say something special about your anniversary? Or?
Well, we got married in middle school. It's been a good ride.
It's wonderful. Torah study meets tomorrow morning at 10:30 in the library and on Zoom. Religious school is on Sunday. Intro to Judaism meets on Sunday at 10:45, and Trope Boot Camp meets on Sunday at 12:15. Both of those are in the library. Rabbi's Tuesday discussion group will meet at 11 o'clock, both in the library and online. We have some upcoming events in February. You can check the shofar that just came out yesterday. An upcoming program is Sisterhood's Keeping Our Kids Safer on Sunday morning, February 2nd. We're also having a fun Tu B'Shvat potluck supper and Seder on Friday, February 14th at 6 o'clock prior to services. We're asking everyone to make a dish or bring a dish featuring one of the 7 species. So check some recipes and join us for that fun event. Following Kiddush and Motzi this evening, please join us in the social hall for our oneg. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Abby. Page 625 for Adon Olam, which will then be followed by our Kiddush and Motzi.
Adon Olam Asher Malach, Haydidi, Haydidi, Haydi, Haydi, Hay, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, Haydidi, Haydidi, Haydi, Haydi, Hay, Li'et Nasav V'Chetzo Kol, Haydi, 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 Hay, Azamel Eshemoni Yikra, Haydi, 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 V'Acharei Kichlot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora, V'hu Haya, V'hu Hoveh, V'hu Yeh B'tifara, La 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 la, Adon Olam Asher Malach, Haydidi, Haydidi, Haydi, Haydi, Hay, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, Haydidi, Haydidi, Haydi, Haydi, Hay, Li'et Nasav V'Chetzo Kol, Haydi, 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 Hay, Azamel Eshemoni Yikra, Haydi, 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 V'hu echad v'yein sheni, Lahamshilo lehachira, V'yirei b'li tachlis, Yilohos v'hamis, Ra la 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 la, Adon Olam Asher Malach, Haydidi, Haydidi, Haydi, Haydi, Hay, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, Haydidi, Haydidi, Haydi, Haydi, Hay, Li'et Nasav V'Chetzo Kol, Haydi, 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 Hay, Azamel Eshemoni Yikra, Haydi, 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 V'hu Eli V'chai Goali, V'tzur Eli B'Eitzara, V'hu Nisi V'manos Li, Menagosi B'yom Ekra, La 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 la, Adon Olam Asher Malach, Haydidi, Haydidi, Haydi, Haydi, Hay, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, Haydidi, Haydidi, Haydi, Haydi, Hay, Li'et Nasav V'Chetzo Kol, Haydi, 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 Hay, Azamel Eshemoni Yikra, Haydi, Haydi, Hay, V'yado Hafkiruchi, V'yein L'shan Ye'ayira, V'hu Imru V'chi V'yati, Adon Ali V'lo Lava, La 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 la, Adon Olam Asher Malach, Haydidi, Haydidi, Haydi, Haydi, Hay, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, Haydidi, Haydidi, Haydi, Haydi, Hay, Li'et Nasav V'Chetzo Kol, Haydi, 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 Hay, Azamel Eshemoni Yikra, Haydi, 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 Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech Yahava uvratzon hinkatanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen.
Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
May God's presence be with you and give you peace. Shabbat shalom. Thank you, Larry.
Very good.